All right, welcome back, real estate investors. Here we are. I'm joined here with Mike Taylor, broker, owner of Red Door Property Management. Mike, how are you today?
Excellent, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. And as you know, my name is Chris Knight, business development manager here with Red Door Property Management. And whether you consider yourself a reluctant landlord or an active investor, we are about to dive into some market data that you absolutely want to be in tune with. And as you know, we continue to expand the information and the data that we're bringing you so that you continue to be extremely well informed so that your properties are going to outperform your neighbor investor down the street. So today we're going to expand it a little bit. We're getting into a little bit of sales data here, a little service level sales data, and then we will jump into some surface level and even some detailed economic data that's happening around the Indianapolis area. And then, of course, we are going to dive into the market report. So stay tuned, pay attention. This is information you absolutely have to be in tune to. And then, of course, you're going to want to stay in tune as we get into 2025 and start to mix things up even a bit more. So without further ado, I'm ready to jump into this. Mike, are you ready to dive in?
Man, I'm so excited. We just keep adding new stuff to this and make it better and better. We got economic data. Now we're going to do some sales data. I love this. I love it. I love geeking out on real estate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I'm always giving the sales guys a little bit of a hard time because property management is just better, of course. But here we are. We're going to relay some of this sales information because we realize how important this is to your active investor, especially with all of the headlines that are being thrown around out there. What's going on with mortgage rates?
Yep.
What's the median sales price? Am I getting a good deal? Things like that. And as you can see, we already have the sales data posted right here for you to see. So we're going to jump into this. I'm just going to highlight some of this, excuse some of the stumbles as this is our first go at this. So here we go. Your median sales price here in the Indianapolis area, and this, of course, is going to cover October data. So October 2024, as this is the most recent data that's been released by MyBor, which is the multiple listing service here in the Indianapolis metro area. So 300,000 being your median sales price happening in October of 2024 with this, which is completely stagnant month over month. There's literally a 0.0% change month over month. The year-to-date sales, so we have 25,000 homes that were sold in 2024 so far this year, and currently active on the market, we have just over 5,000 homes currently on the market. Now, here's the number that I absolutely love to look at, whether you're talking about sales data or whether you're talking about rental data. It's what's the average days on market. And right now we're looking at 20 average days on market, which is up 17.6% month over month. And Mike, I'm going to have you dive in here a little bit because I always want to understand this number is as much as I possibly can. So 20 days up 17.6%. 20 days seems like it's really low to me, but I know during the hot market that we recently experienced not all that long ago, homes were selling within 24 hours,
Yeah.
within 72 hours. But 20 days on the market up 17.6%. What is this telling us about the sales market here in Indianapolis?
Well, it to me it tells me that we might be at a little bit of an inflection point with the sales market. This
Okay.
is a little bit old data, so this is October. My board is obviously not as on it as we are here at Red Door. We got November data already. We're a month ahead. I mean, come on. Um, no, but this tells me that this is we're probably at a bit of an inflection point. If you read the news articles, the recent ones, it's like, hey, inventory is up, sales are up, but also inventory is up. So I think what we're going to see, like you said before it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Things were selling like this, and things are still selling quickly if they're priced right and if they're in good condition. But we are seeing anecdotally, and we just had this conversation, Chris, that you're seeing we're getting some people coming to us as an option to rent their home instead of selling it because they can't sell it. So we are seeing
Yes.
that. We are seeing an increase in inventory. You can see the increase in inventory over there on the right for the next number. So I think that's what we're seeing is maybe a bit of an inflection point to get to more of a balanced market instead of it just being this one-sided seller's market. I don't think we're going to flip-flop and go to a total buyer's market, but I think we're going to see a bit of a balanced market this year.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Exactly. You stole kind of my thunder there. I shouldn't have even mentioned that prior to starting the recording here, but no, exactly. I'm so glad you did because that's exactly what I'm feeling with while I'm on the ground here. So it is. it is absolutely the conversations that I'm having right now is with a lot of people that are not able to sell their property, so they are turning towards leasing,
Yeah.
which is a great option for a lot of these owners. So I believe that we are, just as you indicated, on an inflection point that's going to indicate that we are entering a buyer's market rather than the seller's market that we've been in for such a long period of time. And
Yep.
even more so, and I'll come back to the month's inventory here, but I know the number that everyone wants to hear, investor or your normal consumer alike, is gonna be mortgage rates. So we're at a 6.79% as of, and again, this is going to be as of November 7th, 2024, a 6.79% mortgage rate. Now, what I'd like to continue to report as we get into this month over month and into 2025 is whether this is increasing or decreasing month over month. And unfortunately, this report doesn't indicate that. But I don't see much of a change happening. Prediction. If I'm making a prediction, I don't see that rate honestly changing too much even as we get into 2025. I think that rate is going to be pretty stagnant. Maybe as we get into third and fourth quarter of 2025, we might see a bit of a decrease. But even as the Fed rate continues to play around with the idea of reducing by a quarter of a percentage, I don't know that it's going to have much of an effect on this mortgage rate. Do you?
I don't. I don't think I mean, who knows? But it doesn't sound like the Fed is going to make huge moves this year. And really, we haven't seen that have a direct correlation to mortgage rates anyway, because the mortgage rates are really more impacted by the 10-year note,
Mm-hmm.
which is a little bit longer term, which has a lot more factors in play, like the debt, things like that. So I don't think we're going to see this move substantially. Maybe a quarter point, maybe a half. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's going to be substantially different one way or the other.
No, no. What I do think what I do think will happen though, again, is as we enter what some would consider a buyer's market, is we'll see home prices decrease just slightly. So the ability to cash flow even at a 6.5 or 6.75% interest rate becomes more of a reality, I think.
Yeah, you're going to need to underwrite that at these rates for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Let me just point out a couple things. So one of the things that I like that we do on our report that is not on this report is the month over month, but also the year over year change.
Hmm.
And so I think what this report, one being a month old and then not having the year over year data, is maybe a tad misleading, just because I think we are at this inflection point. So let me just, if you drill down into the details and go year over year, let me just read you a couple of these year over year number changes, right?
Yes, love
So
it.
median sales price is up 3.5%. Closed sales, the number of homes sold, is up 9%. Number of new listings is up 9%. Median days on the market up 38%. Average days on the market up 16%. Active inventory up 10%. So everything is up. We're seeing more of everything, more inventory, more sales. So it's not as stagnant as this slide leads you to believe.
I mean, although all the numbers that you just ran through indicates even further of the inflection point that we are going to see a buyer's market, except for with all those numbers increasing up, you also indicated that purchasing is up as well. So, I mean, that might be the only thing that might keep us at this point a little bit longer, but
Yeah.
all the other numbers to me say that we're quickly approaching a buyer's market.
Yeah. I don't know about a buyer's market. I would call it a balanced market.
Okay, well, we'll argue about that offline.
I guess we'll see who's right.
All right. I mean, we'll talk about the month's inventory here. We're at a 2.0, and as Mike was educating me here just before we went live, that really anything between a 1.0 and a 3.0, or really a 1 to 2.0, would indicate the seller's market. So this is a month's inventory that's currently on the market. So if no other home was listed from this point going forward, what is currently on the market, it would take us 2 months to burn through that inventory. So that's what this number indicates. And again, just I'm going to repeat this so it sticks in everybody's brain. Anything between a 1.0 and a 3.0 would be indicative of a seller's market. So we'll pay attention to that number as the months go on. You definitely want to stay tuned to this. Anything you want to mention as we wrap up all the seller's information, and we'll move on.
No, I'm going to just make a bold prediction that we're going to see that month's inventory increase this year steadily as we get into 2025. I think we're going to start to see that slowly creep up. We haven't followed this, so I don't know if they do a 2.0, 2.1. I don't know if they do it like that, but I think we're going to steadily see this increase over 2025.
That's what I was wondering too when I was saying anything between a 1.0 and a 3.0. I really wanted to say anything between a 1.0 and a 2.5, but we'll see. We'll see if they.
Yeah, it's not 1 to 2 months ish is a seller's market. 2 to 4 is kind of a balanced market, and then anything over 4 is a buyer's market. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right. That's going to wrap up our sales information. So all of you real estate investors, stay tuned. We're about to get into economic data and then, of course, market reports. So we'll cut these up so that you can watch them individually, or, of course, you can watch it in its entirety on any of our social media channels. That's going to be on Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. It's everywhere. It's on Instagram, or, of course, if you're not into social media, which I completely understand, you can always find this information listed right there on our website under Watch and Learn. And, of course, if you're looking for a rental analysis, hit me up. I'm happy to send one over, whether you're a client of ours or not. And until then, we'll catch you in the next video, which will be economic data.